that's fairly self-explanatory, actually. It's obviously that this talk is about a JRPG. Yay! Obviously. So, let's introduce ourselves. The awkward first love is Breath of Fire 3. My god. It has not aged well. But in 1997, this game is born. Thryn's future true love, although she does not know it yet. For avid RPG fans, you may realise that 1997 is not a good year to release. It's because of this game. Sorry, Breath of Fire. You're down. But it doesn't matter, because I don't have Final Fantasy. I have a public library in Barnsley. And in that public library in Barnsley, I have Breath of Fire 3, which my tiny hands, presumably spilling Redwall books and crisps, grasps with glee, because there is the possibility that I can be a dragon, and at 7 years old, that is the coolest thing that has ever happened to me. And so we take it home. Someone, presumably my incredibly canny mother, realises that there are 3 children in the house. An RPG is several hours of gameplay, and a library loan time is not that long, so a copy is made because it's the past. So I don't fall in love with the original Breath of Fire 3. What I'm falling in love with is a copy. So, that is the intro of our jazz piece out of the way, and we are into the head. The head, for those not jazz aficionados, is the main theme of your piece. And the main theme of our piece with Breath of Fire 3 and Tiny Thryn is what really grabs me, what gets me to fall in love, and it comes in 3 pieces. The first is that the important questions are all immediately answered. Does the game involve swords? Yes. Magic probably happens? Yes. Can I play as a dragon? Yes. I'm so excited, my tiny little heart is beating so fast. Let's begin the game. Then, number 2, I hear the soundtrack, and my tiny mind is blown. I'll have to move to play you some of this, because I feel like you had to experience it yourselves. That's not what the soundtrack is. This is very different music. The anticipation only makes it better, I promise. Maybe I'll just describe it to you.
I like this way. No.
Okay.
Sing it.
Just beatbox it.
Amazing!
Can we listen to some more?
Come and find me after the talk, I've got the whole soundtrack. Up until now, I've only played RPGs with orchestral music. Breath of Fire 3 is all jazz! I don't understand jazz, I'm 7, it's amazing! I love it! And so I keep playing, and I meet reason number 3, that Breath of Fire 3 becomes my true love of life. And that reason is not going to happen. That reason is Momo. Momo is a lady scientist who shoots a magic bazooka. And I am smitten. The love of my life has been solidified, imprinted on me forever. And the head of our piece continues into the perfect relationship. I meet the family, some of which are better than others. We spend a lot of time together. There's a lot of replay in an RPG, you may have realised this. And when you're 8 and all your games come from the library, you play them a lot. But all good things, sadly, come to an end, and eventually I am allowed to learn other games from the library. There are other dragons to be played as. There are other magic spells to be casting. But Breath of Fire 3 stays in the back of my mind, the first pure love of my tiny child life, until the VideoBrains pitch storm opens up for December. And originally, we were looking for talks apparently on the lost and the damned, hidden gems, forgotten games. And I sit and think, what games have I forgotten about? And I come up with nothing, but I go to my parents' house, and there are all my PS1 games, and nestled lovingly in the front is Breath of Fire 3. Yes. Yes. And so I do the normal human thing after any slow breakup, which is I stalk it online. You know, see what it's been getting up to without me. It's had a PSP port in 2006. My life's going great too, Breath of Fire, shut up. And when I'm stalking it online, I come across a playthrough. And the thumbnail for this video strikes me. The thumbnail is these people, these characters, on a lift or an elevator. Oh ho ho, the themes are coming together. And I am struck with an inexplicable dread. And for a while I can't put my finger on why this scene makes me feel so tense, because I remember loving this game. Now I'm in my solo freeform period, you know, I feel like I don't have to adhere strictly to it as my true romance anymore, but I can appreciate that its themes have influenced the way I am playing my life out. That's how solos and people work. But I feel uncomfortable about this scene, and I ponder this for a long time until I come to the conclusion that I never finished my favourite game. Fuck! I never got past that lift. I have never seen how Breath of Fire 3 ends. And so we come to the bridge, which is a crisis of identity. I am the fake geek girl. I am the prophecy. I have spoken in public and in private about my favourite game, Breath of Fire 3, that I have never, ever finished. Did people know? Could they see it on my face that I have not finished? Did they know I was lying? Were they aware? Did they go home at night and laugh, cackling over the fact that I was so very wrong? This lasts about a week. And then I decide to fix it. We return to our main theme. I will return to Breath of Fire 3. I will finish Breath of Fire 3. 10 years after I started playing what is a 48-hour runtime. I will finish it for this talk, because it is important if I want to talk about my underrated hidden gem of a favourite game, that I know how it fucking ends. Ooh, we're off to a winner. Are you really a dragon? Yes, no. Dialogue choices. We're ahead of our time, children. This game is not as good as I remember. No. This game might not actually be good at all. This is pretty much setting the tone for everything else. It's pretty standard. You've got your fishing minigame, you've got your fairy real estate minigame for reasons inexplicably never discovered. You just manage them, I guess. You don't actually play as a dragon for very much of the game. I was misled deeply about that. What you actually do is some form of gene splicing in combat where you can briefly turn into a dragon, but only if you're fighting a baddie, and then you turn back into a person afterwards. But if I could splice my genes to turn into a dragon, I would be a motherfucking dragon all of the time. Why is he running around the countryside as some blue-haired, scrawny-ass nerd? Wish fulfillment. But we get back. This section is actually surprisingly close to the end of the game. The game is shorter than I remembered, and significantly less good. Aww. But it's okay, because I've persevered, and I am going to see how my favourite game ends, and I get on the lift, my party is ready, and there's the option to continue, and I don't. I turn the game off. And then I open it again a few days later, and I try this section again, and I get to the lift, and I turn the game off. Because I don't want this game to end. Because my memory of this game stops here. Because you may remember that my canny mother copied this game for me. And copied discs do not work exactly as they should. I didn't not finish Breath of Fire 3 because I couldn't be bothered or I got bored. My disc literally stopped here. If you took that elevator up, it black screened and the game was over. We have an actual copy of this game now. My little brother bought one, presumably annoyed that he could not finish the game, which apparently never bothered me. And that's what I'm playing now, but it's not my Breath of Fire. My Breath of Fire was good and involved a lot more dragons and a lot more Momo and a lot more jazz and a lot less elevator music. My Breath of Fire 3 is not this game. The Breath of Fire 3 I fell in love with is a different idea of this game. And if I finish this game, Breath of Fire 3 is not the same for me anymore. It's a new experience, and I don't want that. I want my experience, which is imperfect, but better, because it's important to me. So, the coda, or finishing section. Do I need to finish Breath of Fire 3 to truly appreciate it? Because in my week of self-identity crisis, when I realized that I'd written pieces about this game, like it was my first written piece about a video game. And I made promises and assurances that clearly I could not uphold. And someone out there probably maybe noticed, if anyone ever read it, which I doubt. But does that make a difference to my experience? And I don't think it does, because it doesn't matter to me how this game ends. The characters, who gives a shit? They are not well developed, they are not well written, and I do not care about any of them anymore except Mama, I love you. What matters is that this game fell into my hands when I was very young and very impressionable and fucking loved dragons. And it was super, super important to me for a really long time. And it shaped games that I played afterwards, and it shaped the way that I approached games, and it sort of blossomed my interest in games. And it doesn't matter that I didn't finish it, because I finished it for me. Because when I get on that lift and the game breaks, that is my experience with this game done. Because it's not really about the story, it's about being a dragon and being Momo. So no, I actually don't think it matters. I thought for a long time, a week, that it did. That it really, really did. And that I could not be taken seriously saying this was my favourite game if I hadn't finished it. Because somehow, in that last section, perhaps something would have changed. That my opinion isn't valid unless I have experienced every single possible hour of this game. But do you know what? There is loads of shit I didn't do. I didn't manage the fairy village until the end. They can manage themselves, they're adults. I didn't fish all the fish because it's boring and no one wants to do that. No one. And so we end on an imperfect cadence. An imperfect cadence is a cadence that sounds unfinished. And my game is unfinished, but it is an ending, and that's fine. Thank you.